I'm excited to introduce you to my new favorite little amp, the VHT Ultra 6. Okay, this is a 6-watt all-tube combo. It features a 6v6 in the power stage and then two 12AX7s in the preamp. It is hand-wired in VHT's own factory over in China. This is not a factory where they do tons of different electronics. They focus specifically on putting together VHT amps day in, day out, so you know they sound great. On top of that, since it's hand-wired point to point, it is very easy to get inside of it and modify it. So this amp is a dream come true for those of you who like to come in and make modifications on your amp. And there are a lot of kits online making it really easy to do or learn how to do. Now the amp has controls that are a little bit different than what you and I are used to with most amps. So I'm going to walk through what each control does, and we'll take a listen to some of them in just a minute. So it has an on-off switch first, and then it has a high power and a low power, and then after that you have a wattage attenuator. Okay, you can take it down to about a ½ a watt, turn it all the way up to the full 6 watts. This attenuator is really cool because it will allow you to get the amp distorted at really low volumes, which is great if you have kids or roommates or neighbors or whatever. You can play it late at night and get really good tones out of it. Now, one thing I should throw in here, 6 watts doesn't sound like a whole lot, but this thing is loud. It actually has a lot of headroom. It's going to be loud enough for most venues you're going to play, or most small venues you're going to play, loud enough for churches, things like that. Anywhere you're going to need a louder amp, you're probably going to be miking your amp. This would also be fantastic in the studio because, like I said, you can get great, overdriven tubes without, blowing your eardrums out. After that, you have the depth control. This is something that's specific to VHT amps. It's more or less a bass roll-off, kind of a mid-boost control. It has an 11-position rotary switch. All the way over one direction sounds very, very Fendery, sounds fantastic with my Telecaster. If you turn it all the way to the other direction, it sounds very Marshall-y. Sounds great with my Les Paul. In the middle, I was able to get kind of a voxy tone. Now, I talked to the amp designer about this, and he said the reason why VHT decided to go with the depth switch is because it allows you to cater the amp sound to whatever guitar you're playing. So essentially the amp will sound great with any guitar out there, and I can attest to that. Like I said, I've tried it with humbuckers, single coils, P90s. I mean, I can get a great sound with every guitar on this amp. After that, we have a texture switch. Once again, something that's special to VHT, a little bit different. This is more or less a high-pass filter. Usually you use it as, it's a 3-way switch. In the middle is just, it's off, and then you have 2 levels of control of how powerful it's being used. This is really great, particularly the Ultra channel when you have a lot of high gain going through the amp. It just cleans up a lot of those junky high frequencies that are not musical at all, and makes the amp sound smoother. After that, you have a tone knob. We don't have a 3-band EQ here, no treble, mid-bass, just a tone knob, but you know what, you can get pretty much any sound you want with the tone knob. After that, we have a volume, self-explanatory. It's a push-pull pot. If you pull it up, it goes to the drive channel, or rather they call it the boost channel, which is basically the first drive channel, which will get a nice bluesy distortion. And you can actually activate this with an included foot switch, which I have down here on the floor. The Special 6, or the Ultra 6, as well as its predecessor, the Special 6, both feature this. And I should say, if you're familiar with the Special 6, the clean and boost channels are using the same circuitry as that amp. After that, we have the Ultra channel. Okay, this is going to be a secondary gain stage, basically the same thing that Marshall was doing back in the 70s to help you get a really high gain that wasn't possible on the original Special 6. Now the Ultra comes with a 12-inch combo. You can also get it as just a head. And now let's take a look at the back panel. So looking across the back, you have a foot switch input, obviously. After that, we have an effects loop, which is really cool. This is an addition that wasn't on the original Special 6. This is great. I plugged reverb, delay, a couple of different things in there. Really cool. Sounds great with the amp. Really takes well to effects. After that, you have a line out. You can use that for recording or headphones or whatever. Then you're going to have an impedance for the different, if you plug an external cabinet into it. And then you have the speaker cabinet 1, speaker cabinet 2, and then also your power input.